For millions of years, the Grand Canyon has concealed artifacts capable of overturning our understanding of ancient civilizations. Here, among the sheer cliffs and inaccessible caves, science faces challenging questions. What do the depths of the canyon hold? Why do some discoveries remain unnoticed? And what secrets are still undisclosed? Today, we will delve into the most mysterious pages of the Grand Canyon's history and once again confirm that reality can be more fascinating than any fiction. Remnants of Ancient Egypt. One of the most intriguing mysteries in the history of exploring the Grand Canyon was the sensational publication in the Arizona Gazette on April 5, 1909. Journalists detailed the incredible discovery of an expedition funded by the prestigious Smithsonian Institution. According to the article, a group of researchers discovered a grand underground system in a hard-to-reach part of the canyon, which included, by various estimates, from 300 to 500 artificial caves connected by a branching network of tunnels. Special attention in the article was given to the unique artifacts found in these caves. Among them were stone tablets approximately 60 by 90 centimeters in size, covered with mysterious hieroglyphs that showed a striking resemblance to the ancient Egyptian script of the New Kingdom period. Equally astonishing were the copper tools and instruments. Their manufacturing technology and alloy composition did not match any known ancient cultures of North America. Of particular interest to scientists were 27 ceramic vessels with geometric patterns uncharacteristic of the region and 5 mummified remains positioned in unusual ritual poses reminiscent of the burial traditions of ancient Mediterranean cultures. When other researchers attempted to verify these sensational findings a few months after the publication, they were met with an unexpected surprise. In the archives of the Smithsonian Institution, there were not only no reports of this expedition, but also no mentions of Professor Jordan himself. All attempts by journalists and scientists to find the caves mentioned in the article or to obtain additional evidence were met with a wall of silence. Notably, the institution itself initially refused to comment, and then officially denied its involvement in these studies, which raised many questions and conspiracy theories. Some archaeologists hypothesize that in the remote areas of the canyon, there could indeed have been settlements of ancient cultures. However, the complete lack of material evidence turns this story into one of the most mysterious and controversial chapters in American archaeology. Interestingly, in 1934, one of the local guides claimed to have found an entrance to a similar cave system, but died under mysterious circumstances 2 weeks after his statement. Many researchers involved in this issue have the impression that inconvenient information is being deliberately cleaned up and kept away from prying eyes. This astonishing mystery has remained unsolved for over 110 years, periodically resurfacing in scientific discussions and generating new theories. The situation is made even more intriguing by the fact that in the last 50 years, at least 7 independent researchers have reported findings that could confirm the data from that very newspaper publication. But each time, this evidence either mysteriously disappeared or was declared to be forgeries. The most recent such case occurred in 2015, when a group of speleologists claimed to have discovered an artificial tunnel in the northern part of the canyon, but their equipment failed before they could document their find. The mysteries of the Grand Canyon's rock art. These mysterious drawings can be found in the most remote corners of the Grand Canyon, where only the bravest explorers occasionally venture. These ancient petroglyphs are scattered across hidden gorges and caves for many miles of the canyon, and represent a unique phenomenon, with no direct analogues among the known cultures of the indigenous peoples of this region. What are these creatures with disproportionately large oval-shaped heads, almost 2 feet wide? Their faces lack mouths and noses, but have huge almond-shaped eyes that occupy almost a third of the face. The bodies of these creatures are unnaturally thin and elongated, with long limbs ending in 4-fingered hands. Particular attention is drawn to the intricate pattern on their garments. Hundreds of parallel lines and geometric shapes create the impression of some kind of protective suit or uniform, reminiscent of modern spacesuits. Next to these anthropomorphic figures are equally astonishing depictions of objects that modern researchers interpret in various ways. Some see them as stylized depictions of celestial bodies or atmospheric phenomena, while others view them as primitive attempts to depict flying machines. The technique used to create these petroglyphs is noteworthy. Unlike most rock images in the region, which were created using a point-punching method, these drawings were made using deep engraving followed by meticulous edge polishing. The depth of some lines reaches almost 2 inches, and their width varies from half an inch to 1.5 inches, indicating the creator's intention to make these images durable and visible from several hundred yards away. The placement of these images presents a particular mystery. They are located in exceptionally hard-to-reach places, often at a height of 15 to 25 feet from the current ground level, suggesting the use of complex scaffolding or other devices for their creation. Moreover, many images are strictly oriented towards specific astronomical phenomena, sunrise points on equinox days, or positions of bright stars like Sirius or Vega, which may indicate their astronomical or calendrical significance. Dating these petroglyphs presents significant challenges. Traditional dating methods, including patina analysis and associated archaeological finds, provide a wide range, from 1,000 to 3,000 years. However, some researchers note that the style and technique of these images may suggest a significantly greater antiquity, possibly dating them to a period before the known Native American cultures appeared in the region. Local tribes do not consider these images part of their cultural heritage. Their oral traditions contain vague mentions of ancients who came from the sky or star people, but no specific connection to these petroglyphs is evident. This lack of cultural continuity makes the mystery of the origin of these images even more intriguing. In recent years, these petroglyphs have become the focus of intense scrutiny by scientists using the most advanced technologies for their study. Laser scanning with an accuracy of up to 1/100th of an inch and spectral analysis of mineral pigments may shed new light on their origin and purpose. However, for now, these mysterious images continue to keep their secrets, reminding us of how much remains unknown in the depths of the Grand Canyon. The Lost City. For over 100 years, the Grand Canyon has remained a place where scientific research intertwines with mysterious stories of ancient settlements and unusual rock formations. Although many of these tales belong to the realm of legends, professional archaeologists continue to find traces of ancient campsites and strange rock formations in the canyon that require thorough study. The first reports of unusual findings appeared as early as the late 19th century, when explorers and geologists began systematically documenting the canyon. In 1891, John Wesley Powell's expedition mentioned strange stone structures resembling man-made walls. For over 100 years, the Grand Canyon has remained a place where scientific research intertwines with mysterious stories of ancient settlements and unusual stone formations. Although many of these tales belong to the realm of legends, professional archaeologists continue to find traces of ancient campsites and strange rock formations in the canyon that require thorough study. The first reports of unusual findings appeared as early as the late 19th century, when explorers and geologists began systematically documenting the canyon. In 1891, John Wesley Powell's expedition mentioned strange stone structures resembling man-made walls. Local guides whisper about strange metallic objects found in sandstone layers hundreds of millions of years old, and about mysterious caves with hieroglyphs unlike any known script. The National Park Service stubbornly denies these facts, but documents that accidentally fell into the hands of independent researchers suggest that traces of a vanished civilization may be hidden in the depths of the canyon, with a technological level that surpassed our current understanding. From the information available to the public, the most significant findings date back to the period between the 11th and 14th centuries AD, when the culture of the ancestors of the modern Pueblo tribe flourished in the region. In various parts of the canyon, archaeologists have discovered remnants of stone structures built from local sandstone. In the area of Walnut Canyon, impressive fragments of ancient walls up to 6 feet high have been preserved, showcasing the craftsmanship of the builders of that era. These structures included both residential spaces of about 150 square feet and utility buildings for storing supplies. The numerous cliff dwellings carved into the soft layers of sandstone are of particular interest. These shelters, located from 50 to 300 feet above the river level, demonstrate the remarkable adaptability of the ancient inhabitants to the harsh conditions of the canyon. Researchers note the careful selection of locations for such dwellings. These are usually niches protected from wind and sun, often oriented southward for better warming in winter. The sizes of these shelters vary from small recesses about 6 feet in diameter to spacious caves extending up to 30 feet. Equally impressive are the ancient agricultural terraces found in some areas. These man-made platforms, reinforced with stone walls up to 3 feet high, allowed local inhabitants to grow corn, beans, and squash on the steep canyon slopes. Archaeologists have found evidence of a complex irrigation system, which included ditches up to several hundred feet long that diverted water from temporary streams to the fields. The analysis of this data allowed scientists to trace the trade connections of the ancient canyon inhabitants with other regions of the Southwest up to 200 miles away. Modern research in the Grand Canyon combines traditional archaeological methods with advanced technologies. Ground-penetrating radar with a capability of up to 50 feet helps detect structures hidden beneath the surface without destructive excavations. Three-dimensional scanning with an accuracy of up to 1/10 of an inch allows for the creation of digital copies of fragile archaeological objects. The analysis of soil samples weighing only a few ounces provides information about ancient agricultural practices. Despite all these studies, experts estimate that no more than 30% of the canyon area has been explored. Particularly unexplored are the hard-to-reach side canyons, which are up to 1,000 feet deep and stretch for several miles, as well as areas along the Colorado River's course, where the water depth in places exceeds 100 feet. The U.S. National Park Service pays special attention to the protection of this fragile archaeological heritage. Most of the known monuments are closed to free visitation, and their exact coordinates are not disclosed. For unknown reasons, these sites are only allowed to be visited by small groups accompanied by scientists. Moreover, it is prohibited to go beyond the pre-agreed route. What do you think? Why? Do they really have something to hide? Or are these measures aimed at preserving unique evidence of the past for future generations of researchers, who, with the development of new technologies, might be able to uncover yet unsolved mysteries of the ancient inhabitants of the Grand Canyon? The magnet of tragedies. Some paranormal researchers call the Grand Canyon the Bermuda Triangle on land. They claim that people disappear in this place, devices malfunction, and inexplicable events occur. The Grand Canyon is a magnificent chasm in the Earth's crust, with a depth exceeding 1 mile and stretching over 270 miles. Some paranormal researchers call the Grand Canyon the Bermuda Triangle on land. They claim that people disappear in this place, devices malfunction, and inexplicable events occur. The Grand Canyon holds many dark secrets that continue to intrigue researchers. Even the most skeptical people ponder the unexplainable forces that might be at work in these ancient rocks. According to official data, about 12 people disappear without a trace in the canyon every year. This is 5 times more than the number of people who die on Everest, one of the most dangerous elevations in the world. Many cases in the Grand Canyon remain unsolved for decades, despite all the efforts of search teams and modern technology. The bloodiest page in the canyon's history was written on June 30th, 1956. In perfect weather conditions, with visibility over 10 miles and no cloud cover, 2 passenger airliners unexpectedly collided at an altitude of 21,000 feet. The investigation revealed alarming details. A few minutes before the disaster, both crews independently reported strange interferences with the navigation equipment and inexplicable magnetic anomalies. The wreckage of the 128 victims was scattered over an area of 1.5 square miles. Moreover, some bodies were found in places they physically could not have reached in a normal fall, in deep crevices, closed caves, and even on sheer rock ledges, several hundred feet above the main crash site. Many experienced rangers, who have worked in the canyon for decades, speak of strange phenomena that cannot be explained from a rational standpoint. Official reports regularly mention cases of sudden malfunctions of navigation equipment. Compasses start spinning wildly, GPS devices display incorrect coordinates, and electronic watches stop exactly at midnight, at certain points in the canyon. Night watchmen have repeatedly reported mysterious lights moving along strictly defined trajectories along sheer cliffs at an altitude of several thousand feet, where there are no trails or any platforms. Particular concern is caused by the area in the northern part of the canyon, where radio communication often fails, satellite phones do not work, and according to some, human voices do not produce an echo, as if the sound is absorbed by an invisible force. Geologists have recorded several instances where instruments simultaneously malfunctioned and started acting up. Scientists claim that within this area there is an iron ore deposit, which likely plays a key role in the unusual phenomena. The National Park Service continues to insist on rational explanations for all these cases, citing the unique geological features of the area, strong magnetic anomalies, and extreme natural conditions. However, the facts remain: the Grand Canyon continues to claim its eerie harvest with frightening regularity, and the number of unexplained incidents increases every year. Could it be that within these ancient rocks, which are millions of years old, there is indeed something hidden that the human mind is not yet capable of comprehending? Or are all these tragedies just a series of ominous coincidences? 300 million years ago, in one of the most visited corners of the Grand Canyon, near the Bright Angel Trail, where hundreds of tourists pass daily, nature presented scientists with an unexpected gift. After a strong rockfall that exposed ancient layers of rock, researchers discovered two massive fragments of quartz sandstone, on the surface of which remarkably clear fossilized tracks were preserved. This discovery, made by geologist Alan Krill literally under the feet of visitors to the national park, turned out to be a true sensation in the world of paleontology. Detailed study of the prints showed that they were left about 370 million years ago, during the Paleozoic era. At that time, Earth's continents were still united in the giant supercontinent Pangaea, and the area of the present-day Grand Canyon was a vast desert with high sand dunes. The climate was significantly hotter than it is today, and the air contained almost 50% more oxygen, creating unique conditions for the development of life. The tracks form two parallel chains with a total length of about 3.5 feet, and they are arranged in an unusual diagonal manner. Professor Stephen Rowland, a leading expert on the discovery, compares their pattern to the movements of modern lizards. The geological context of the find is of particular interest. The tracks have been preserved both as direct impressions and as natural casts on two adjoining layers of sandstone. Such a double imprint is extremely rare and is of great value to science, allowing for a highly accurate reconstruction of the limb anatomy of the ancient creature. Paleontologists suggest that the tracks may have been left by a member of the reptiliomorph group, a transitional form between amphibians and true reptiles. These creatures, about the size of a modern iguana, were among the first vertebrates to fully transition to a terrestrial lifestyle. Their limbs were already adapted for efficient movement on land, but still retained some primitive features. The unusual zigzag pattern of the tracks has given rise to numerous scientific hypotheses. Some researchers believe that the animal might have been moving against a strong crosswind, typical of sand dunes. Others suggest that the tracks reflect complex mating behavior or a ritual for establishing hierarchy. A third version states that the creature was moving along a steep slope of a dune, which caused the displacement of the tracks. To test these hypotheses, scientists used modern technologies, including high-precision 3D scanning and computer modeling. The created animations literally allow us to see how this ancient creature might have moved. The significance of this discovery is hard to overestimate. It is not only the oldest evidence of terrestrial vertebrates in the Grand Canyon, but also provides unique data on the behavior of the first reptiles. Previously, we could only speculate about how these creatures interacted with each other. Now we have direct evidence of complex behavior even at the earliest stages of terrestrial vertebrate evolution. The discovery also sheds light on the environmental conditions of the Carboniferous period. The analysis of the sandstone structures showed that the tracks were left in wet sand at the base of a large dune, and were then quickly covered by new layers of sand, which ensured their exceptional preservation. The site of the discovery is now carefully protected, and the fossils themselves are being thoroughly studied using the most modern methods. Scientists hope that further research will help answer many questions about the early stages of terrestrial vertebrate evolution and their living conditions. Strange disappearances, mysterious plane crashes, technical anomalies, and ominous discoveries, all of this seems to hint at the existence of a mysterious force lurking in the depths of the crevices. The Grand Canyon remains a place where even the most logical explanations cannot completely dispel the feeling that there is something more hidden in these ancient rocks than just a natural wonder.